create a subplot with 4 seasons in a form of histogram. Okay, so subplot, we didn't take this before, but we took something similar, which is we explained before tiled layout. And the difference basically, like, and I said tiled layout is way more helpful and powerful than subplot. But the thing, like, subplot is still a function, is still very good to know this function, but it's really very dependent on your data. But at the same time, subplot, it might has its own advantage for the sake of like plots or graph, but it's very helpful. Like, it will never hurt to know how to do the subplot, just for you to have like both skills like subsequently. So that's why I just choose today to apply like the subplot in order to see by yourself. Like we already explained, like please feel free to check the previous episode for tile layout, but I want you guys also to see the subplot and compare it by yourself. Like you can see actually the different. Okay, so let's begin. Figure 1, this will be my subplot. Okay, so subplot, basically, so MNP, what's this? So M, number of row, like number of grid rows. Okay, so I wanna, the plots will be 2 rows, number of grid columns is 2 columns, and then, okay, grid position, which is the plot position, which is 1. Okay, so what's this? Let's pause here and like explain this. So I'm telling MATLAB I want to be the subplot. The subplot, this is the entire dimension. So I'm gonna create 4 subplots, and the entire 4 subplots will be 2 and 2. What's this 2 and 2? It's 2 rows with 2 columns. What this means? It's gonna be 2 rows, like 2 plots in a position of row number 1, row number 2, and then 2 plots will be in a position of column number 1, column number 2. This is okay. Like right now, like in those lines, I'm gonna create a plot. The plot position will be the first plot, which is first row, first column, and this basically like the subplot. In tiled layout, we're using next tile. So instead of using next tile, we can just like write the rows and write column, and this is the first. So this basically is the how like the 3 spaces like means. Okay, so far so good. And as I said, in the form of histogram. Oh my god, the histogram is just like wrong. It's histogram. Okay. So histogram plot. Okay. I wanna plot good temperature. Winter. Okay, let's make it like looks neat. So let's create a title. Temperature of winter. Let's create xlabel and ylabel. So xlabel temperature C and ylabel to be maybe frequency. Frequency, the unit of it is hertz, so it's hertz. Okay, so right now, if I press run, I mean it's very too early to press run, but like, so right now, as I said, okay, the first position is in row number 1, column number 1, it's here. Okay, temperature of winter. So, and here's the subplot. The thing, tiled layout was very more details, better for resolution, but subplot is kind less details as we can see, but it's still like, it's the end resolution. We're gonna have 4 plots in the form of like 2 by 2, 2 rows with 2 columns. So let's keep going, and as I said, follow your own lead for sake of time. Let's copy and paste again. As I said, it's gonna be same thing, 2 and 2 Next block for me will be in a position of second row, second column. Okay, so instead of winter, now we're gonna plot spring. I'm gonna change just the title to spring, and this pretty much it. Okay, the third plot. Okay, 2 and 2. Now we're gonna be 3. As I said, it's total 4, like 2 rows and 2 columns, right? So spring, now it's summer. I have to make sure, yes, this one, now it's in blue. Now temperature of summer, the xlabel and ylabel are the same. Okay, the last one now is autumn. So this is the position, grid position, and now autumn, change the title to autumn. Now if I run, now I have 4 different plots in a subplot that is organized in 2 rows with 2 columns. Every one of them represent different plot for me. This representing the winter with the frequency and temperature, representing the summer with like frequency and temperature, representing the spring, representing the autumn. It's all in subplot. As you guys can see, like this is a subplot. You can reference back to tile layout. The difference between them, as I said, just resolution and how far or what's your tolerance to make your data clear, or how picky you are to make your data, whether it's very clear or not that clear, or you don't care. Might be like here it might be helpful in some points. A tile layout might be helpful. Actually, like it really doesn't hurt to know both and to choose whatever will work for you, whatever you can explain better. Because like at a lot of times, as I said, if you are working on like big project, you might understand different codes, but like you might choose a famous one in order for the next like programmer not like to like struggle after you. So you have to keep this in consideration as well.